Yeah, so I guess it'd be well worth us kind of putting a bit of context on where we are now and and what we did before really in terms of men's mental health specifically within Gwent really and it started not for me, but it started really this project through a project that we did, both Tidy But and Four Minds kind of come together to run a project which was funded by the Innovation Fund back a couple of years ago, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But the actual project was brought about because of a death by suicide in one of our local rugby clubs, so it was in response to that really. But as I said, we decided to run with the project, and it was a run with the project because there wasn't much lead up to this actual project. But what we did, we worked with 10 local rugby clubs within Gwent, and with the assistance of Tidy But and Reese from Tidy But, we were able to deliver 10 mental health awareness sessions to each of those rugby clubs. The idea being that wanted to kind of prompt people to take care of themselves really, and also kind of raise awareness of what well-being kind of looks like and give them a bit more information about what resources are available out there really. But it was also about kind of tackling some of the stigma that is associated with mental health within the rugby clubs as well. But we also wanted to talk to the people within the rugby clubs around, what assistance is out there for them within Gwent and actually external of Gwent. And it's lovely to see Jay Cox here from the Samaritans as well, because, that is part and parcel of kind of what we wanted to do. We wanted to raise awareness of the amount of support that is actually out there. But I do have a passion there for men's mental health, and that's been there for quite some time, and it is a real kind of passion project of mine. But it was all about how can we bring all these wonderful services together? How can we give these services, information about kind of what services are kind of available for them and that they can tap into. I've got somebody on a speaker there. There, okay. There we are. So we went around those 10 rugby clubs, and we were also able to offer counselling, low cost counselling via Tidy But as well as part and parcel of that project. It wasn't a massive amount of money, but it was kind of a help. So like I said, Matt from the Tidy But crew were able to facilitate that. But we did work with the Dragons RFC, and we worked very tightly with Mellow Cymru and our public health team as well. And what was amazing about the project, and I didn't know, and I was in actually Rwanda at the time, so I wasn't able to collect this, but we were actually recognised, and we got a national award for that particular piece of work, which was great really, and totally unexpected as well. Do you want to push it on, Patrick, a little bit? Yeah, we are. So what we have got is a bit of a snapshot really via Kerry Fowler. She's going to talk about the project, because we actually had one big project at the end of the project, sorry, one big event down at Rodney Parade, and it was very moving because we were able to bring so many different agencies together, both statutory organisations and also our third sector partners as well, and they were able to kind of get to know one another and get to know how to kind of tap into their resources as well. But we didn't just look at mental health, we looked at other agencies, and we had a wonderful guy there called Goldilocks, and he talked about the impact then of hair loss, if you like, on a man's well-being as well. So there's many things can impact on a person's well-being, and that was what we want to address really by bringing so many different agencies. We didn't want to make it all around mental health and suicide, but actually the main reason that we were there was around suicide prevention, if that makes sense. But just if we can show that little bit of a clip, Patrick, for people, that'd be great.
So we're here today to raise awareness around men's mental health and emotional well-being. So recognising that often men find it more difficult to perhaps reach out and access support. So what we wanted to do was raise awareness and to really talk about the amazing services that we have here in the area and to support people to be able to reach out and access support if they need it.
We've got an amazing array of partners around that support men and men's mental health. We've got lots of self-help information, and we've also got services here that can provide that support.
I think Newport, Cardiff, Swansea, Port Talbot, the big areas we need to cover. The better everyone works together, it just creates such a great community between everyone, and then everyone can sort of link into each other.
We're the men's den at Blina. I've been in the shed just over a year, helping me greatly with my mental health. I mean, I suffered really, really badly with anxiety, and I had an incident the other day which flared up my anxiety, and I suddenly realised how much it had helped.
So isolation have done us no favours whatsoever in regards to our mental health and well-being. So I can't emphasise the importance of being part of a community and connecting and having that sense of belonging.
And so many people coming in to support the cause, and see so many people so passionate about mental health and well-being within the community. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's extremely difficult, I believe, for men to engage with services generally. And I think, you know, what's needed is those opportunities to look at alternative kind of support services that are out there, and giving them choice on how they want to engage, when they want to engage, and, you know, the activities that they want to kind of take part in, really.
So thank you, Foreman, for the opportunity to speak to you this evening, and for all the good work that you are doing.
So that grassroots approach really allows individual people to recognise this is what we need, this is what I want to do, and it grows and builds from there.
We're a walk and talk group, and we take groups of guys out on nature walks once a week. And one of the things that we do when we take our guys out for walking is make sure that we link in as much as we can with other organisations.
I think events like this are so important. I mean, we've talked about the fact that actually it's grassroots organisations that are really working together in Wales to connect men, because at the end of the day, connection is protection.
I think it's about us sharing knowledge, and I think it's actually about what I believe is true collaboration. So how do we really truly collaborate? Because unless we join together, this isn't going to improve. We want to keep working in silo. We're going to get what we've always got. We need to work in line with and alongside the NHS. We need to work alongside Welsh Government, and we need to work as groups together for the greater good.
So that hopefully that'll give you a bit of a snapshot about, you know, the event that took place in Newport back last year, actually. But it was amazing to see so many passionate people then coming together. You know, ultimately what we want is the same for everyone, really. So what I'll say is that the evidence that we gathered as a result of the topical talks that we did last year, and also the main event that we did in Newport, really gave us the idea to push forward this year. And we were fortunate enough to put in a bid and get awarded an amount of money to allow us to do the same this year, which I'll go on to talk about. But I've actually collared another few organisations as well to support the initiative moving forward. As I said, you know, the last event and the project was Tidy But, and it was kind of 4 minds as well. But now we've enlisted the support of Topical Talks, JSG Health for Dads, Talk About Solution, and Matt is also on, and Tidy But is also there as well, because we're all very passionate about what goes on in our community, and I think together, you know, we can be like a force to reckon with. But what we are looking for really is other people that may be here tonight that may be really interested in supporting this project and taking advantage of what this project has to offer as well. So we're really kind of excited. And this project isn't, I noticed that I think we got on the presentation, it runs from April to November, but actually it's within the year, so we can stretch you know, our activities out further than November if needs be, really. So that's kind of how we've come about, and you know, that's kind of some contextual stuff really, on why we're moving forward in the way that we're moving forward. And I think the other thing, and I think Matt can talk a little bit maybe in a second, but what we clearly got from the work that we did last year, although there is a need in our rugby clubs, there is a need generally within our community to offer the same facilities out there to our walk and talk groups, to any community groups that are out there that are already well established, you know. And it's how can we support you to do the amazing work that you do out in the community. Maybe we can offer a topical talk to yourselves, you know. But again, we'll talk about that later on as well. So that's kind of the contextual stuff on it. So in terms of Four Minds, and in terms of, you know, how did this happen? I still don't know how it happened, because I was supposed to retire 6 years ago, after working for 30 odd years in mental health and well-being. And I suppose my last role within paid work then, if you like. I was the CEO of Mental Health First Aid in Wales, and I worked with a big charity for many years in a variety of different kind of roles, and you know, from counselling services to supported housing. So I've got a great understanding of kind of community services, if you like, and what needs to happen as well. So I've got quite a lot of expertise in that way. But actually, Four Minds was it was pulled together on purpose then, really, because I also know from retirement there's an awful lot of people out there working that are kind of freelance workers then, that may have worked in this area, but they've still got a lot to offer society or our communities, and they do that through the experience that they gained over the year. But what we also know is it's really difficult when you're freelance working. So Four Minds was pulled together really, if you like, to offer freelance individuals then to be able to support their communities through the allocation of grants and things like that. But we also provide support to other charities, and it's lovely to see the Marauders here, because I know that I did quite a lot of work with the Marauders in terms of getting funding, supporting that organisation to grow from just being in Neath Port Talbot to being in Rhondda and Taff, and now they're kind of in Gwent. So I'm really passionate about kind of watching other organisations kind of grow as well. And actually, I do remain in contact with them now, because I am actually an ambassador for them, and I'm very proud to see that as well. So that's kind of a little bit around Four Minds. But you know, our driving force is always about kindness, and it's always about kind of working on opportunities for people and providing that support where we can, when we can. Some of that support is through the delivery of training. Some of it is advice and guidance as well. Some of it is pulling organisations together, like this project, where you know, we got that opportunity to be able to kind of push through a project with more expertise on board. Also, we provided some advice and guidance to the work that Jacob is doing with you know, with the new fathers, and I'm sure Jacob will go on to talk about that. So it's fair to say I'm not retired. You know, it's fair to say that I'm busier probably now than I ever was, but the difference being I'm doing things that I love doing within my own community as well. So that's kind of Four Minds in a nutshell, really. We do have back office functions, and you know, Holly is here today, and you can't see her, but she's actually in here, and she does a lot of the administration, and Four Minds coordinates the Gwent Connect 5. Sarah's not here today, but you know, so we do work like that. So that's just giving you a bit of a flavour of Four Minds. I could probably talk a glass eye to sleep, but I'm not. I'm going to stop now because I keep going on. And I'm going to introduce Jonathan. Jonathan is one of the collaborators for the project today. So you want to say something, Jonathan?
it's like passing over the glass eye to sleep
Pass the
for
parcel.
somebody else, isn't it? Yeah. Welcome everybody. I'm Jonathan Pierce. I'm a registered social worker for 27 years coming up now, and I've been a qualified coach for about 11, but probably been coaching for a long time before that. I've worked in health and social care for 30 odd years now, so I think when Sherry and I linked up, I think we worked together something like 29, 30 years ago.
Yeah, you had here.
So I know when I had hair, exactly. So my social work career has been in third sector mental health, hospice, palliative care and bereavement work. Had an education role for a while, and I work very, very part-time for a health board in a suicide prevention and postvention role, working with people bereaved by suicide and suspected suicide. But alongside that, I'm a well-being coach as well. I call it well-being because I couldn't think of a better word, and I didn't like life coaching. It sounded too American. So I work predominantly with men these days. I live in Tredegar in Blaen y Gwent. See men to work with lots of different issues, where they are, where they need to be, and what needs to happen in the meantime. And very, very keen on improving health outcomes for men in the wider Gwent area as well, and just keen to use all my skills and my experience from my background. I'm also a committee member and a coach for You Never Alone as well, which is a men's mental health and wellbeing group based here in Blaen y Gwent too. So thank you very much.
Jonathan. Okay. Matt, you're on. No swearing.
Good evening, everyone. I can see there's quite a good attendance, guys. So thank you very much for giving up your time this evening, especially because it's one of the best evenings of the year so far. So thank you for giving up your time. It was an absolute honor and a pleasure to be involved last year with the project. I know Cherie mentioned and give you guys some data and show the video and stuff. It was a fantastic project with great outcomes, but I'm even more excited this year to be able to collaborate with so many other amazing organizations and really have a positive impact throughout Gwent as a whole. So as Cherie mentioned, my name's Matt. I come from an organization that goes by the name of Tidy But. We are predominantly based at the moment in Torvine. We were set up as a Facebook group back in 2020. It was something that I set up pre-COVID, if I'm honest, through my own struggles with mental health. So it's definitely something that I can relate to, these kind of conversations. Lockdown happened. More and more people started reaching out to us in regards to support and sharing and offloading and just providing people the space to be able to be themselves, really, and have an outlet to be able to share some things that they may have not told anybody in the past. So that kind of developed over the coming years then into a registered charity. Again, at this time, we was predominantly based in Blaen y Gwent, so we started doing some wellness walks, cold water swims. When everything started opening up again, we run some peer support groups in the local community centre, etc. Clearly, there was a need there. I think for a lot of people now in particular, they want to feel a part of something. I think during lockdown, for instance, there is no kind of coincidence that we was locked down for 3 years or whatever it was in total. And now some mental health statistics are at an all-time high. So everything we do at Tidy But is built on the foundations of community and connection. I can't emphasize the importance in being a part of something. Finding your tribe and being part of some kind of community is super, super important. So as a result, guys, we now run cold water swims, wellness walks, peer support groups. We've got a counselling service, which is part of this project as well, along with Torvine Talks. So the guys will share a little bit more regarding that moving forward. So yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to be involved again. I think I hear so many times like, oh, it'd be amazing to collaborate. And genuinely, I don't think it really happens. So for us to be a part of a project where everybody gives a damn, everybody's so passionate about supporting people and helping people, and have a real input and an impact within the community with other organisations that absolutely love collaborating. It's fantastic for us. I feel this problem is way too big for one organisation. So the more we can collaborate and the more we can work together and get you guys feedback and suggestions is amazing. So it's an absolute pleasure to be involved, guys. And that's kind of me.
Thanks, Matt. That's great. Jacob.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Let me move it. There we are. Okay, go on, Jacob.
Right, can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Good evening, all, or sort of late good afternoon, good evening. So my name's Jacob Guy. I'm part of JSG Health for Dads. I know that we've got quite a lot of people on the call who might recognise my face from my day job, where I run the For Dads by Dads as part of Torvine Health, Sport and Fitness. This is different piece of work. This is work that I do for myself. So any of the bits that pop up within Torvine, I'm happy to speak to anyone on the call and see how we can collaborate so I can utilize it from my day job and see how I can support you guys. But going back to the JSG stuff, so I've been fortunate enough to work with the great guys on this program and given the opportunity to work with focusing on dads. So I work with dads more sort of educationally, so covering things with workshops, podcasts, different bits and bobs that people want to find out a little bit more about dads. So we tend to focus more on the sort of physical health, mental health. We cover topics like the importance of role models within fathers, the importance of masculinity, because obviously I know there's a number of people on the call that watched Adolescence, and the thing with Louis Theroux that is on Netflix at the moment. So it's quite a in-time topic at the moment. So it's something that seems to be popping up in a number of talks and stuff that I've done. So yeah, it's just really to re-emphasize what a lot of the other guys are doing, is just empowering men, empowering dads to get any support that they feel that they need. Maybe that they've sort of lost a little bit of themselves and want to find themselves again and get back into looking after themselves, because we tend to find as dads and parents overall, mums as well, we tend to lose focus on ourselves and sort of prioritize more people and people around us. So tend to sort of work with the dads to try and focus on themselves and bring themselves back to where they need to be, but also be the best dad that they can be and empower themselves to be great dads. So it's something that I'm really passionate about. I've done for a number of years now, been fortunate enough to do a number of podcasts and presentations. So yeah, looking forward to potentially working with you guys. And if there's anything I can do to help, that'd be, please get in touch and I can chat more. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. That's great. I guess Patrick now and Sophie.
I'm Patrick, co-founder of Toolkit Talks CIC. It was born from a simple belief that mental health shouldn't be a luxury and finance not a barrier, and that nobody in our community should face mental health challenges alone. As a community interest company, we offer low-cost pay-what-you-can counselling across Torvine. Support groups including Men's Talk and Soul Sisters, our female-only walking group. Also support to bridge the technology gap with a project supportive of digital inclusion. We even create podcasts to shout about the amazing work and people who are based in our communities. Everything is designed to be accessible, jargon-free, and local. To tell you more about our impact and our mission, here's Sophie.
Hello, my name is Sophie, and I'm the co-founder of Toolkit Talks CIC. We're thrilled to be part of the EmpowerMen Project and to be around such amazing organisations that's coming together to empower the men of Gwent. And that's going to be through Topical Talks and webinars just like this one. And part of the EmpowerMen Project is providing counselling and coaching sessions. I'm going to be overseeing the counselling and coaching sessions as forming an assessment and a one referral route for every man that goes through the option of counselling and coaching. At the end of every topical talk, there will be an option for all those in attendance to have a look at the toolkit but to also have access to the counselling and coaching. We would like the men to feel empowered by choosing their own route and pathway for their own mental health and well-being, if it's coaching or if it's counselling. So the coaching is going to be provided by the wonderful Jonathan at Talk About Solutions, and the counselling, it will be assessed by me, Sophie of Torvine Talks, and then the counselling sessions are going to be run by either our counsellors at Torvine Talks CIC or the counsellors at Tidybird. The men can use these sessions to gain perspective of what's going on for them right now, maybe create some goals, perhaps dig a little deeper of what was going on for them previously that still affects them now, maybe even talk about some worries they have for the future. We know that it's hard for men to reach out at times, so we want to make this accessible as possible. So if they do want to talk and talk about what's going on for them, there is a route for them.
That's great. Thanks, guys. All this technology is like a blur for me, so it's really nice to have the assistance of Patrick to be able to do these kind of things. But just to talk a little bit more about the EmpowerMen Project, as you will have heard, we've got the option of delivering 25 topical talks across Gwent, and really these topical talks, although we've got a list of some of the subjects that we would like to cover, we're very much kind of reaching into you guys really to say, well, we would prefer to have maybe some topical talks on understanding anger, isolation, loneliness. So we really want to work collaboratively with you guys, although like I said, we do have a list and I'm happy to kind of send that out. These topical talks, they are only for like an hour, so they're kind of snapshots then. If you like, and these are going to be offered across Gwent. And like I said, these are offered to you free of charge. All we ask is that you've got a venue that we can rock up and we can deliver whatever topical talk it is that's decided to happen really. We've also got the option again of running full webinars, and we are going to be running webinars on suicide prevention and postvention as well. And again, we've got a list of suggested webinars, but we'd really like to kind of know, off yourselves really, if you have any ideas what best suits your organisation, because this project is about enhancing what it is that you already do, and you all do amazing jobs. But what we thought we would do is give you the opportunity to enhance the the work that you actually do as well. And we've been really fortunate more recently to be able to come into contact with a gentleman called Dr. Dean Whitcomb. I think he's on the call today. We've been able to start work on our digital wellbeing toolkit, and which is one of the things that was highlighted from the previous project, that we would go in and we would deliver our wellbeing talks, but very much the clubs were looking for something to be left for them to be able to refer back to, so that they can tap into different services, because we talked about them at the time, but it's like anything, isn't it? When we leave, maybe that's forgotten. So the Wellbeing Toolkit is going to be accessible to anybody. But what we would also like to do within this toolkit is promote the services that you do. So I'd like to be able to have like your logos and your contact details, so that we can enhance this Wellbeing Toolkit with lots of localized provision out there, whether you're a walking group, whether you're a fishing group, whether you're Tidybird, whether you're Four Minds, really just to kind of highlight the work that's being done, so people can tap into those services. But there's also other information on there around kind of depression, maybe suicide prevention, who you need to contact in the case of an emergency, and that kind of thing. So the Wellbeing Toolkit is very much kind of in production then, if you like. In terms of the access to talking therapies, like Sophie said, we sectioned out or ring fence an amount of money to cover Torvine and Blaenau Gwent, so Gwent in its entirety really, to be able to offer free or low cost talking therapies to those that need it, and also in a timely fashion, so people, hopefully there won't be that kind of waiting list that we all kind of hear about, and people can access this support really, really quickly as well. And I believe this is available online or face-to-face, Sophie, so which we haven't kind of spoken about yet, but my understanding is.
That's
so
correct, Cherie. Yeah, it'll be face-to-face, virtual, online, and there's also a telephone option as well.
Yeah, so we're going to try and do it in a variety of different ways, because what we wanted to do is provide the support which best suits the person that needs the support as well. The other thing, there's been an extension of this, is an event that's going to take place in Blaenau Gwent, and I'm hoping to kind of get together with some of those amazing charities up there, like Men's Sheds, and you know, to look at providing an event up there so everybody can come together. We have got a provisional date of this, I think it's the 17th of June. So Kath, you're in on the call. That's lovely. So we will be kind of reaching out to you guys over the coming weeks, really. But what it will provide for you, and it is a free of charge thing, it will offer you an opportunity to showcase the work that you are doing in Blaenau Gwent for the public to come and see, but also for other agencies to get to know what it is that you actually do as well. So it'll be a smaller version, I guess, then, of the event that's going to take place in November at Rodney Parade. And again, you're all more than welcome to attend that and to showcase the work that you've done. We made quite an event of it last year. We brought in guest speakers, and we had the president of the WRU was there, Terry Cobner was there. We had Reese from Tigerbutt talked as well. We had a gentleman that kind of zoomed in, if you like, on video from an oil rig, actually, and he spoke about, you know, he spoke about his experience of losing his brother through suicide, which was very emotive. But it also, we had Blaen Avon Male Voice Choir there, able to kind of sing us out as well. So it was quite an event, and you know, there was the Marauders were there. We had so many different agencies there. I think we had 36 agencies there all together, and we're hoping that there's going to be a lot more this year, really, because I'll have more time to kind of prep. And to be fair, the last project I had 6 weeks to plan, prepare, and do everything. We've got the year to be able to kind of do this as well. So the event in Rodney Parade is going to be November the 18th, I believe, but we will send out information to you guys. But it'd be great for you to have a presence there or in Blaenau Gwent as well. I don't know whether oh, there we are. Yeah, this is just, you know, something. It is really part and parcel of Four Minds, really, and the previous project and this project is that commitment to empower other organisations, other community groups, other charities to come together to make their activities really accessible, but also offer them the opportunity to upskill staff within that. So, which is, I've forgotten to mention, is that we've actually been allocated opportunity for the Gwent Connect 5 now, and also suicide first aid. So for anybody out there, any organisations out there that would like to have this training as part and parcel of the work that they do, you know, it is simply a matter of kind of contacting me, really. But it is about, it's a very organic process that we are looking at, and as I said, you know, we are looking at working with people out of basic kindness, really, and we want